doing the retro achievement review today for the week of from May 27th to June 3rd. Let me get some announcements out before we start proper, but I'll throw out some shout outs for the folks who are online today and kicking butt with retro achievements. So we are first going to throw one out to Mr. Pulse XP. He's working on the Contra 3 badge on, I think it's a Super Nintendo game? Yeah, because Hardcore is the Genesis game. So he's been working on that, and not sure who else is on today. And I know Rotorstorm was on earlier. He's not doing retro achievements, but he's been working on speedruns, which is similar in some ways, challenges, things like that. Oh, Lord Bookums is on as well, so let me throw him a shout out. He's a good dude. He doesn't necessarily go for achievements per se, but he does play a bunch of different games with it retro achievements on and connected, so he gets lots of achievements. Sometimes he badges games every once in a while. But he's a cool dude. And it's like Cassie's also on today. She's playing some Battletoads. I thought she'd already badged that one. But anyway, she's a pretty cool lass. She does a lot of puzzle games, platformers, survival horror. Interesting lady. She does a lot. Maybe swears a little bit too much for me. But anyway. Hey Cosmic, welcome on in. Still throwing shout outs and putting out announcements. So buckle up. Got a long list today. So some fun stuff. And I've already given some a run through. So we can talk about that as we go. But how are you doing today, man? What you been up to? Throw an announcement there. Here. Oh, cool. Glad you're doing well. And throw it here. Got some new teams put together in Monster Sanctuary. Cool. Alrighty. Alright, so the announcements are out there. So for anyone watching the VOD after this, if you're unfamiliar with Retro Achievements, www.retroachievements.org is the site we're talking about today. They basically put together achievements for retro games that you can earn via playing these old games on emulators like RetroArch and PPSSPP and PCSX2. And you basically go on the site, register an account, and then connect your emulator of choice to if it's compatible with achievements. They got a list of emulators there that are, and then you start playing games and you start earning achievements. And they're kind of out there by gamers for gamers in sort of the same way you have your Xbox achievements and PlayStation trophies. So what this show is we go through the new sets of the week, and then we go through community highlights, go through and see what our community's been up to, what games they've been playing, what achievements they've been earning. And then we finish off by trying out one of the new sets and going for some Chivos. And so let's start. Last week was last Monday was the 27th. So we're starting from games on the 28th. And I'm kind of forgetting where we ended off, but I don't remember talking about Midnight Club, or I think we might have talked about Dave Mirra. But we'll start with Dave Mirra today. So Dave Mirra is another sort of like Tony Hawk, but for bikes. It's kind of extreme sports game where you ride around and you pull off tricks on your bike and get points. And there's various types of tricks that you need to pull off in each different level to unlock certain things. And a lot of it, game kind of gets, it goes along with a lot of the music from the time, so a lot of it's licensed. So we can look up the game, but we don't want to play the music because it's going to be like Green Day and um, maybe Britney Spears. I don't know, whatever was popular back then. I don't think it was in Britney Spears, but a lot of the punk and soft rock songs of the time. I'll just mute it while we see. Ba-ba-ba. I'm not really interested in the cinematics. Let's get to the actual gameplay here. Ba-ba-ba. So very similar in gameplay mechanics to the Tony Hawk games, and I think there's a Shaun White game we talked about a while ago. Very similar. I really liked a lot of these at the time. I'm kind of surprised that there's not a lot of new games in this style. There's a few, but it's pretty few and far between. But it was for a time there, it was a very, I guess I wouldn't say dominant. I mean, it wasn't anywhere near like Call of Duty or Medal of Honor or things like that. But it was, I'd say the Tony Hawk series was pretty big for PlayStation 2. They kind of ported it all over the place. And there were many sort of clones, and this is kind of one of them. It's not a bad one. But if you like Tony Hawk's, I would definitely recommend playing this one too. Boom. A lot of genres faded out from those times. Yeah, I feel like I've seen a couple of these types of games on Steam every once in a while. Car combat games, yeah. You don't see a lot of Twisted Metal type games. I think there was oh, I got one on PS5 that was like a launch title. That was like some kind of destruction derby. I don't think I even played it, but I got it with the intention of playing with my nieces, and we just never broke the seal on it. So I think it's still like in a set of stuff. But what was that one? Like Destruction Stars or Derby Stars or something like that. But yeah, it's not as huge as it was, or at least it's not as huge as it felt like it was back then. So let's see, you got clear out all the challenges. Hey Foxy, welcome on in. We're looking at Dave Mira on PSX. Throw you a shout out here. But we're currently looking at the set for it. Okay, so amateur challenge, pro challenge, hardcore challenges on every stage. It looks like they're going to force you to ride some of the bikes with less handling. Oh, and they also want you to complete every challenge and win all gold with each character. So that feels a little bit silly, in as much as there's really not a lot of gameplay difference between the different bikers and the different skaters in these games. But it's basically going to require you to play through and complete every level, like, what, 10 times? That's kind of annoying. Well, I guess they have different tricks, so they do play a little bit differently. Frank and a few others looked forward to it. Yeah, I mean, it was a good series. Like Dave Mirra and Tony Hawk, they're good games. Good, fun games. Um, just really easy to pick up and play and have a good time. Putting aside the achievement sets. The achievement sets are going to be, like I was saying, a little bit annoying because you have to play through the game so many times. Anywho, on to the next one. So this is another Fairchild Channel F game. So Fairchild Channel F was one of those consoles from like the late 70s, early 80s. Really have to use your imagination for a lot of these games. Sometimes your character and sometimes your enemies are just like one little pixel. Not a lot of detailed artwork or real complicated stuff here, but sometimes it could be pretty fun anyway. And all these games were pack-in games, so you'd get a video card and it would have, in this case, 3 different games. And there's actually, the shooting gallery game is actually in a couple other of pack-ins. So I have one that's like shooting gallery and Desert Fox, I think. So I'll probably do this again, because shooting gallery is not too bad. Can be a little bit annoying to figure out, you know, like how fast your bullet is versus how fast something is moving. But you get a feel for it after enough tries. Tic-tac-toe is not bad, you know. Just play 10 games in one session. Lose a game, tie a game, win a game. And as Matthew Broderick learned, the only way to win, for sure, is not to play. Look at all the colors you have to work with in Doodle. Okay, so Doodle is probably like a color dinosaur kind of game. So that's probably a pretty easy badge, and really just kind of go back and enjoy some history. And you might want to look up the manual to figure out how to select which game you're playing. There's a good selection of the manuals on archive.org for these. So if you look for like Channel F, Video Cart 01 manual. Well, this is a different game, but there's quite a few of these manuals are available online if you search for them on archive.org. So if you're interested in playing these, I would highly recommend reading these, just to kind of figure out how to configure the game and set up each mode, because there's a lot explained in the manual that's just not in the game itself. So you kind of need the manual. That goes for most of the Channel F games, and a lot of the Intellivision and ColecoVision games as well. So definitely need the manuals. Next up, we've got Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. So the Midnight Club games are racing games from Rockstar. Kind of like your Extreme Racing and not quite like Gran Turismo. I think not that I'm huge on racing games, but I always felt these ones were a little bit more arcadey. So not quite like your Gran Turismo or your some of those ones, but maybe closer to Need for Speed or some of the more arcade feeling ones. Okay, so there's a bunch of unlocks. Da, da, da. Gotta win the races, of course. There's probably time attack ones, I'd imagine. I guess there's different like series of races here. There's Bike Club and Car Club. I wonder if there might be like motorcycle racing in this game as well. Wolfie's really pushing through the NFS Underground set. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've seen him playing through that here and there. He's having a good time with it. Luxury Rollers car clubs. I guess you get to drive some Bentleys and some Aston Martins or something. I guess Aston Martin's more sports car. You like Bentley and Rolls Royce maybe for luxury cars. Some Lexus. A wild Bloomberg appears for those doing Pokemon. Okay. Accumulate X number of money. Complete so much career mode. Huh. It doesn't seem like there's time attacks in this one. Hmm. That was a fast ban. I just saw a wall of text and then it disappeared. Good job. I hope that was a fake one. I hope that was a bot that you just banned. I couldn't read it in time. So Cosmic says, I am BMW. Yeah, that's a really fun one from Corone Chan, I think it is. That Foxy has. Closest I've got is you know, this one. Didn't even link this spicy site. Hey Knocker, welcome in, sir. Throw you a shout out as well. So we are looking at Midnight Club 3 on PS2. Just looking at the set for it. It's another racing game. Looks like a pretty easy, pretty straightforward set. Basically just, win the game, do all the stuff in the game, win the different races, unlock all the stuff, and so on. Seems pretty straightforward. There's not even like a lot of time attacks. Yeah, I've got this one too. Or okay, so here we've got a Sword of Mana subset. So Sword of Mana is a pretty cool, kind of a remake of the original Mana game, Seiken Densetsu, which came over here, I think, is Final Fantasy Adventure. I think. And it was came out on Game Boy Advance. Running in the 90s is great also. Yeah. Yep. But so this one's a subset where you got to go and kill all the rare spawns, which come in as like black versions of all the various creatures. So it's a big set because there's a bunch of creatures. It's kind of like a rare drop, but I think these are maybe a higher percentage than rare drops would be. Anyway, but Sword of Man is pretty cool. We can look that up really quick. I think I do like this better than the original. The original is pretty basic. Let's see here. Oh, that was too loud. But it plays a lot closer to Secret of Mana than the original one did. That's a very visually appealing game. It's pretty. Yeah, it's the prequel to Sword of Mana, or it's Sword of Mana, which is the prequel to Secret of Mana. So this is the remake of the original, which was Final Fantasy Adventure on the Game Boy, I think. Same monsters and character animation. Yep. But anyway, if you like Secret of Mana, if you played Final Fantasy Adventure, definitely worth checking out Sword of Mana. And once you've completed the main set, it might be worthwhile to go back and play this one if you enjoyed it and you just wanna you know, kill a bunch of stuff randomly until the rare spawn appears. Pretty straightforward. Oh yeah, same loot. Candies and chocolates. Wonder how hard the secret banana set is. It looked like there was a lot of people who had badged it. If I bring that up. Bum, bum, bum. So there's 347 people who've badged it. So it's not super hard, I wouldn't say. Just judging by how many people have badged it. Obviously the majority of the people who play it don't badge it, but fairly achievable. I think if we look at the rarity, is there a way to sort by rarity? Or we can just kind of look. So there's defeat the mana beast. I mean, that's basically just beat the game. Obtain the aura glove. And then max out. So a lot of the things that are here are just like maxing out your levels with different types of magic and getting the best forms of each weapon. Those are the ones that are the least achieved. I think most of these are just like defeat X boss, X or Y boss or whatever. Pretty much just beat the game normally, as you would. You have Legend on Steam, haven't tried it yet? Ah. Legend of Mana is cool. It's a remake of Final Fantasy, or yeah, Sword of Mana. Anywho, cool game. Would highly recommend. Next up we got Forsaken 64. If I remember correctly, this is kind of it's very Descent-like. It's is a shooter, and you're kind of in a little ship flying through like a mine or like different buildings and things. It plays a lot like Descent on PC. Sea Foxy's Big Bird game. Yep. We'll get there. There's a Sesame Street game that came out. We'll get to that one. So let's see. So you gotta beat the different levels. Complete them without dying. That could be rough. I don't know if there's a stage select on this one. The deathless per stage wouldn't be that bad if you have stage select. Obtain and equip different pickups. Clear battle mode. We'll take a look at this one real quick. Forsaken 64 and 64 gameplay. Big Bird Badge was a group effort. Oh yeah. It was like playing Words with Friends, only you were limited to 3 letters. Or well, had to pick from 4 letters to make a 3-letter word. Or several 2-letter words. Hit the big black button to move. Yep. Yeah, so if you enjoyed, I guess I wouldn't call this something, it's not quite like Star Fox. Because on Star Fox is more on rails. What would be a good game to compare this to? I mean, Descent on PC, but you guys probably haven't played Descent. But you're kind of like in a free roaming 3D environment, and you're, you know, flipping around 360 degrees to hit things, and there's like you know, power ups and health, and it's kind of like Doom, I guess, in a way, except you're moving in all, you have 360 degrees of motion, so it's not just you know, forward, backwards, left and right, with the occasional jumping. Yeah, I was not expecting clinching on a Sesame Street game, but yeah, time attacks always makes me more anxious than often than you actually need to be. It's just the way of it. Anyway, but this is Forsaken. It looks pretty good for being an N64 game from its time. Definitely on par with like Doom 64 and some of those. Very I mean, I guess the graphics are a little bit like the art is just a little bland because it's a whole lot of grays and beiges and kind of featureless corridors. But it's all right for what it is. It's I guess I'd just say Descent for consoles. Anyway, I feel like if you like Doom 64, if you like Alien and what was it? Alien Resurrection that was on PlayStation? No, not Alien Resurrection. There's an Aliens game on PlayStation that's pretty decent as a shooter. I would definitely want to try hooking up the mouse to getting the mouse to work with this, if possible. I don't know if N64 had a mouse, but that would make this game a lot more playable. On doing this with twin sticks, it's gonna I know Pookums did play that one a while back, before it had a set. Next up, we've got Shadow of Destiny from Konami, and it's an adventure game. I think this one came out before. That would have been the PS2 version, though, I guess. Okay. So we have seen this one before. This is just the PSP one, which would have a slight graphics downgrade, but mostly the same game. Kind of a lot of wandering about and finding items and talking to people and trading items back and forth or using them in various ways, as you do in adventure games. Point and click. Hey Drake, welcome in. Throw you a shout out as well. Because why not? Which game is that one? I don't think I've seen that clip before. Is that Simply the Night? Anyway. Welcome in, sir. Hopefully you're having a good day. Okay, so pretty much just straight progress. Wander about, talk to people. Probably get most of the achievements. Bum-ba-dum. I remember this had a very long opening scene.
What? But if you have the will to somehow reverse that fate by yourself, I can lend you some measures of strength. How about it? Will you do? Just be careful.
I'll just... I never noticed this place before.
But if you know what awaits you, you would find people to be with, so that you would not be by yourself.
Oh, I guess you're on a kind of timer in the game too. Do they speak English in what? What are you talking? What are you asking, Drake?
I guess this is as far as I go.
I'm making a new Shadow Gate. Shadow of Destiny and Majora's Mask font. Okay.
Excuse me, have you seen a man walking around here?
It's a very general question.
I guess this is as far as I go.
Anyway, this might be interesting some night to do either the PS2 or the PSP. I'd imagine once you've done one or the other, doing the other is pretty easy. It's really just go around and figure out what you got to do for each section. Anywho, adventure game might be kind of fun. I'll toss it on my list eventually. Shadow of Destiny was like Dawn of the Third Day and MM. Dawn of the Third Day and Mega Man? Next up we've got Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball. So this is a pinball game. A Sonic the Hedgehog themed pinball game. I'm actually kind of surprised this isn't just now getting a set, since we already have the Metroid one and the Pokemon one. Oh, Majora's Mask. Gotcha. Hey, Wolfie, welcome in. An appropriately timed Sega. Sonic Spinball versus Metroid Pinball. Yeah, I've heard not very good things about Metroid Pinball. I haven't played it myself, but I'm sure Sark is already done, probably already batched this one. Throw you a shout out here, Wolfie. There's one set that we've already gone through that you might find interesting. It's Midnight Club 3 on PS2. That might be up your alley, Wolfie, if you're in need of another racing game after Need for Speed. New racing game set for you. Yep. I wonder how much control you have over Sonic as he wanders around, or if you just control the flippers. You got a couple different there's a couple different tables here, so that's cool. It's even got Chaos Emeralds. That's cool. I dig the music for this game. I will say that. You know, if I hadn't already picked two games to try out tonight, I might pick this one too, because this one looks cool. Hey, Rev, welcome in. Oh, is there a spinball on Genesis? Okay. Not played any Midnight Club. I do have one on Steam though. Ah, cool. Anyway, so that's a Sonic the Hedgehog spinball. Let's look at the set here for a bit. Collect all emeralds. Okay, so you do have to collect Chaos Emeralds in every stage. Earn a continue. Clear the game without using a continue. Clear Final Showdown and deal the finishing blow to Dr. Robotnik on normal difficulty with default continues. Secret area. Break open all the monitors. Okay, so there's at least 3 tables. Lava Powerhouse, Time Machine. Oh no, 4. Okay. So there's Toxic Pools, Lava Powerhouse, the Machine, and Final Showdown. So that's cool. Earn over 5 million points, earn over 25 million points. It's always kind of hard to play, kind of hard to say whether a score is difficult to get or not without playing a pinball game. Because sometimes, like, 25 million is nothing, and sometimes 25 million is, like, impossible. So, kind of hard to say without having played it. Complete the bonus cages with at least 100 rings. Earn an extra life from the score match after losing all your lives. Ooh. Don't stop. Keep spinning. Bum, bum, bum. Have it on the Genesis collection on PS3. Cool. Sonic Spinball, not Gradius. Gotcha. Oh, there's one on Master System. Okay, so there's 3 of them. There's 3 of them. I imagine the Genesis one has probably got the best sound and best graphics, and the Master System and the Game Gear are probably pretty similar. The Master System might have a larger screen. Got all the achievements needed for this game on the Genesis collection. Nice. I'm just a little bit curious here, so let's check out the Master System gameplay if there is one. Oh, there is. Okay. Not awful for being an SMS game. Definitely not up to par with the Game Gear version or the Genesis version, but the Game Gear version looked really good, especially for being a Game Gear game. Doesn't the Genesis collection just give you like 1 achievement per game? Probably isn't many because it's a collection. Got the platinum though. Pretty sparse per game. Yeah. Yep. The PlayStation achievements are pretty basic in my my experience. It requires some level of challenge sometimes, but usually it's pretty much just like, unlock all the things, beat the game on, There's a version on Steam too. Oh, that's cool. The Sonic one and the ToeJam and Arrow one. Alright. Well, so there you go. So now we have a Game Gear set and a Genesis set. So if you've already beat the Genesis set, might be worth your while to check out the Game Gear one and batch it over here too. Surprisingly, there's already 6 people who have mastered the set, and Sarconius is not one of them. That is very surprising. Sarconius is our resident pinball master. Throw him a shout out since I'm talking about him. But I imagine he's probably badged this one. Yep. Him and Nirvana's both. So there you go. SMS and Game Gear are essentially the same hardware. There's no way that was on Game Gear. Oh, maybe the one we saw was the Genesis one. Huh. I wasn't paying the most attention. Knocker says the game is bad. That's too bad. Next up we got Initial D Special Stage. So Initial D was an anime about drifting, which is to say an anime about racing. Kind of fun. Had some Euro pop techno type music to it that's very memorable. It gets memed upon pretty hard. A lot of the characters in it were very maybe overexpressive. They hammed it up a bit, so it was a very memeable series, but fun all the same. Yeah, there is it looks like the PSP one came out first. So there's a PSP version and wait, that's Street Stage. Okay, so there's Street Stage, there's Special Stage. They're both racing games. Let's see, win against all drivers. Beat the drivers twice. Beat them on hard in arcade mode. So you got to beat basically all the other people at each area. Got our S rank. Okay, so this is probably time trial related. Probably like don't bump the sides and get it within a certain time. Possibly, fulfill some amount of drifting. Drift for so many seconds or something like that. Lots of S ranks. Whew, that's a lot of stages. 31. Okay. So in story mode, there are 31 races you got to beat. And you got to S rank them all. Hopefully you can do like a stage select. Earn your first basic tune. It looks like there's already masters. Yep, there's already somebody that mastered this set. So achievable. That says to me it's achievable. And nothing too crazy on the well, I guess it depends on how crazy the built-in in-game S rank is and what's required for it, but definitely worth a shot if you're into racing games. Foxy says Initial D Special Stage, you need to get the PSP one. This is a game I'm interested in. You enjoy the anime? Cool. Play the PSP one, there's no English patch. Oh, that's sad. I only know of it semi-recently because a lot of people are really into it. Yeah, it's a fun series. I watched a lot of it. Let me throw a... Knocker, did I throw you a shout out yet? I'll throw you another one, just cause. Okay, it doesn't look like there's a patch for this one either. I wonder if there's one for the PSP yet. Nope. So even if there is a translation, it is not currently supported in Retro Achievements. That may change though, if there is a translation. Screenshots looked English. Dun, dun, dun. We can take a look at this game real quick. Special Stage PS2 gameplay. Might have some licensed music. We'll see. Alright, let's skip to the probably gonna get muted for just this segment. Anyway, pretty cool looking game. It looks like a lot of the main stuff in here is at least in English. So your speed, your how much time you have, so on and so forth. So it's probably fairly playable, even if you don't necessarily know the um, what they're saying. I imagine the story probably follows the anime. I think Special Stage might have been one of the OVAs, so it might not be the main series. But anyway, um, yet another racing game that that folks might enjoy. There you go. Next up, we've got The Getaway on PS2. I remember this game. I think it's kind of like Driver. It's not exactly a racing game. It's not exactly Grand Theft Auto, but it's kind of in the middle. So you do a bunch of missions in car. Uh, ba, 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 ba. Oh no. Okay, so you do get out of your car and move around a bit. So maybe it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto. Um, yeah, okay. So it's got a lot of like third person over the shoulder shooting sections. Da, da, da. Racing is fine. Menu navigation is a struggle if it's not in English. Yeah. Da, da, da. Let's see. The Getaway PS2 gameplay.
He's got to be here somewhere.
Salmon, over here! Help! This guy's a nutter!
Yeah, so kind of probably plays all like Grand Theft Auto does. It's maybe not as much of a sandbox though. It's a little bit more mission oriented. Drake says, I got Ketsui in Japanese. Got a translation of the menus, which did help, but it's still completely playable without. Oh yeah, Ketsui's a lot of fun. Ketsui's one of the ones I chose to try out today. I also tried Laplace no Ma, which we'll get to. It's kind of it's a lot like Sweet Home. It's a what I say? Supernatural urban fantasy RPG, I guess I would say.
See you again.
You're investigating a haunted mansion.
Do you an injury, Charlie? I'll fucking swear up.
So it's very British. This game is very British, very kind of got like a crime drama plot. So there's going to be some car segments. There's going to be some over the shoulder shooting segments. Could be worth a shot if you like those kind of games. If you like Grand Theft Auto. I mean, we watched Sark play Max Payne. That was a little bit painful. This set looks pretty straightforward though. I think these are mostly progress stuff, and then find different cars in different areas. I feel like The Getaway was a Steve McQueen movie. I mean, there was The Great Escape. If you're thinking of that one, that was definitely Steve McQueen. Next up, here you go, Cosmic. Sesame Street, Big Bird's Hide and Seek. Real straightforward set. Basically, there's a couple of mini games. It's an educational game. It's kind of a meme set. We had Foxy give this one a shot because there weren't very many new cartoon games on Saturday. He badged it in one sitting in about 20 minutes. It's really not hard at all. Just a fun little badge or whatever. I'm sure if I get into a badge race and I tell my niece about this one, she will probably go through it. Um, she likes them batches that are easy. The Getaway was a sequel to High Speed Pinball Table. Huh. There is another movie that's got Steve McQueen where he's doing a lot of driving around, and it's kind of a crime drama movie. Bullet, I think. Really fun movie, really good movie. Oh, there is a movie called The Getaway that is Steve McQueen. Nice. Oh yeah, Bullet has some awesome car chases. Some of the most awesome car chases, I would argue. Next up we've got Billy Bob's Hunting and Fishing. And this is on Game Boy Color. It's a fishing and hunting game. Gotta hunt some raccoons, some turkeys, some deer, some bears, some bass, and you gotta fish up some bass or bass, some catfish, and mutants. Nice. This is also a very small set. Looks pretty basic. Defeat Pa and Ma and win over Daisy May. I have a feeling this is going to be one long redneck stereotype. Bullet is famous. Bass fishing. We need the meme that explains bass bass. Well, that's something. So you don't have to aim the cursor or anything. You just select the spot and hit the button when it's a rabbit. Okay then. Oh, you got a shooting gallery game. Oh dear. Okay, so it's kind of a mini game. Yet another mini game. Baby juggling? No, those were pigs. I mean, I guess piglet juggling. Wolfie says it'll be tough to beat Redneck Rampage. Wonder what the fishing is like. Yeah, let's skip forward to the fishing. See if we can find where the fishing is. Oh, that's kind of cute. Going around in your ATV. Gotta avoid the park ranger. Oh boy. Come on, where's the fishing? Okay, it's kind of arcadey. Gotta catch the fish as they go between, as they jump between their bins. I think this makes more sense. Oh, this is lame. Yeah, kind of lame. Oh, okay. There is some actual fishing. Drake's like, whew, real fishing. Looks like you probably just have one button to reel in, and then another button to cast out. Looks like you're fishing above a submarine or something. The background changes. Oh boy. Or real fishing. What a game. What a game indeed. All right. So if you want to insult Pulse, maybe throw that on his wheel. Oh boy. Let's see. Next up, we've got Evo's Space Adventures. This is from Runecraft. 3D platformer on the PlayStation. Interesting. Okay, a lot of collection of Chivos. This game is jank and bizarre. Jank and bizarre. Snow Joke, reveal the hidden platform. Kill every walrus and collect the souvenir. Kill every cool cod. Recite the penguin song. Complete shifting sands without entering the tent. Inhabit the elephant without using a parrot. We're gonna have to look at this one. Evo Space Adventure. Jank and bizarre, my favorite genre. Looks like that N64 game, Silicon Space Station, or whatever it's called. You're an alien that can take over the bodies of different animals. I saw a janky game at the arcade on Saturday. Batman. Side-scrolling platformer is based on the '89 Batman. And we did see the Amstrad. I think it was the Amstrad? Might be in the Spectrum Batman last week. You know what? I think I've seen somebody review this game before. Huh. I think the reviewer I was watching, I think he was pretty like impressed with the just uniqueness of this game. Definitely not visually impressive for its day. I mean, it is PlayStation 1, but still. Cosmic says he watched a full tool-assisted run of it. That's how he knows about it. Looks like a lot of chasing sheep. You've seen the Spectrum Batman? You've beaten the Amiga Batman. That's pretty good. Oh, and Pokemon escaped. It's kind of hard to judge just from seeing this of whether it's a good game or not. I think a lot would depend. For me, a lot would depend on whether it's got tank controls, which a lot of the PlayStation 1 platformers did. That's usually a bad sign, but I can't tell. Like, obviously I'm not playing it, so I can't tell if that's the control scheme on this one. But that would be kind of the at least one of the things that would be an immediate loss of points for me. If you want a weird game, play Catherine. Yeah, Catherine's pretty weird. It's not really very streamable because it's got a lot of it's pretty not safe for work, let's say. Lots of cheesecake in that game, just lots of weird stuff. Cosmic says you can take over fish and other animals in other levels. Drake says I kind of prefer tank controls. He's a mouse now. Oh yes, don't stream it. Yeah, if I play through Catherine, I do have it on PS3 and PS4. I've never actually played it. I've watched other people play it, but yeah, it's that would be a late night streaming game for sure, not a Twitch game. But anyway, Lisa the Painful. I've actually heard of Lisa the Painful. That's the that's one of those. I think it's on itch.io. It's kind of a I wouldn't call it a homebrew exactly, but it's like I think it's an RPG Maker game. But you got to use like you basically have to use a drug called Joy or something, and it does damage to you. So you have to like be careful about how you use it and where you use it. But you're actually kind of forced to use it at various spots in the game. It's got elements like that, I think. It was free on Epic recently. Interesting. Hey, Wise, welcome in. He says Catherine is late, tough game. Is tough, late game. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it's got some pretty rough block puzzles of just you gotta climb and avoid like a baby with a chainsaw or something on some of those last levels. It gets really weird. Alright, well anyway, this game looks potentially interesting. I don't know, maybe worth a shot someday. As Cosmic says, it's jank and bizarre. Next up we've got Shove It. This looks like a Sokoban game. So if you like Sokoban, which is basically just a box puzzle game, I kind of enjoy this genre. You find a lot of the same puzzles between these games, whether you're playing the original Sokoban or, you know, Boxel or Sokoban DS. You end up coming across a lot of the same puzzles. But it's pretty fun. It's basically just you've gotta move the boxes around from where they start out to the locations you need them on. Often a lot of boxes are already on the locations you need them on, but they're the wrong box and they're in the way, so you have to like find a way to move them out. that's kind of the way these games go. They're it's not bad. It is kind of a brain teaser type game. A lot of them have, if you look online, there's a lot of like solutions for these things. If you get stuck, so if you like puzzle games, I'd recommend it. Looks like a pretty basic set of just complete every level. Why says, "What's up, guys? Just seen you're on. Your daughter got a fever at school and sent home, so been busy with sick kiddo. Aw, hope she gets well soon. It's no fun being sick, but it's not bad to get a day off. Um, Action puzzle platformer levels are hardcore, but also the real gaming aspect. Yeah, for Catherine. They usually use similar puzzles to start, then go off on their own. Yeah. Hey, Manny, welcome in. Yeah, Manny was playing some more. Which one was that? That wasn't Gotham City Racing. That was trying to think what you were playing earlier. Burnout? I think it was Burnout Revenge. So another one of those destruction derby type games. Yeah, Burnout Revenge. Boom, boom, boom. Up next, we have a role-playing game and also a collectible card game called Magi Nation or Magi Nation, Maggie Nation. Bum, 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 bum. Obtained a bunch of things. Score at least 50 points. Score at least 60 points. So it looks like there's some mini games. Forge different things. Because I'm a trash monster, that's like turning off my brain. Playing Burnout is like turning off your brain. You're pretty good at it, so I think strangely, pretty much like the human brain is really impressive sometimes in what it can get used to and what it can go from causing like stress and panic in at one point in time to later becoming like a chill pill. Like this is my relaxed game, and oddly enough, there are people who find shoot 'em ups relaxing, and for me, I play shoot 'em up, and it's like I'm clinching 100% of the time, but you get used to things. Definitely the first couple levels of you and Squadron have actually gotten kind of calming and chill to me. So interesting. Usually play warrior games when I want to think of absolutely nothing. Let's see. So witness and terminating attack. Obtain all relics. All right. So let's go ahead and throw this one on. So it's about. Should are not relaxing to me unless I've gotten really good at the particular game. I think it's down to what value you put on winning. That's true. I used to play a lot of like hex cells, which is like it's kind of like Minesweeper, but it's like hexagons instead. That was kind of my chill game. I have a ridiculous amount of hours in that game. And then I actually played the Minesweeper set on Game Boy Color or Game Boy, and then I was actually under restraints of like time attack, and I was like, this isn't actually relaxing anymore. Hex Cells is free with Xbox 360. Nice. Okay, there is a lot of exposition. I think we saw Foxy play this at one point. I don't know, it's a Saturday game, maybe? I feel like I've seen this before. You do have to get kind of zen with shoot 'em ups. Yeah. I'm fine with being trash. Let the young crowd try hard. Oh, okay. Good, so I'm not just imagining. I remember it had a very long intro. Do we actually get to see like some of the combat? This guy has his videos all broken up. Story section. More story section. Bum, 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 bum. I just want to see what the combat looks like, dang it. It's got a pretty wide variety of music, at least. And for the Game Boy Color, it's not bad looking. I'll give it that. The Kingdom Hearts intro to Shame. Was that one really long? Oh, okay, so it's kind of like a Pokemon system? Choose a creature to summon, and then choose abilities. Oh, it was Hexic, not Hex Cells. Alright, well, looks kind of like a... I wouldn't necessarily say like a Pokemon clone, but it looks like it's got some elements of that, maybe. You might have to collect cards to get new abilities. But it could be interesting. Might have to sit through a very long intro. But there you go. Imagination. Next up we've got Ninja Shadow of Darkness. It's a beat 'em up. It's a 3D beat 'em up from Core Design. I think Core Design's the same folks that did they did the ones that did Pandemonium. Oh, they've done a lot. They did Chuck Rock. They did Hook. Skeleton Crew. Fighting Force. Fighting Force 64 and Fighting Force. The Fighting Force on PlayStation's, I mean, it's okay. The set for it is awful. I would not recommend the set for it, but it's an okay game as 3D beat 'em ups go. Tomb Raider? Oh yeah, they did Tomb Raider. Yep. Core Design. Without getting hit and without using cheats. Damageless. Deathless. A lot of deathless. That could be a real pain. And then 100% completion on these stages. So I guess like beat everybody up and destroy everything. Yeah, a lot of games had built-in cheats, so that's not super surprising. Shadow of Darkness. PSX. Got some pretty neat cinematics here.
Stand powerless against this dark force.
Hmm. I mean, it's more graphically impressive than Evo was, I suppose. But the cheats are the best parts. Makes the game playable, Drake says. It really depends on the game. I mean, I remember the days when every game had like a big head mode, it felt like. I remember GTA 3 had like a big head mode, and there's like a cheat to immediately put yourself at 6 stars, so you're facing off against like jets and helicopters and stuff. That was fun. Cheats can be fun, for sure. But obviously, if you're going for, achievements, and there's cheats for, like, invincibility, or infinite lives, or, you know, those kinds of things, it makes sense that you'd want to turn them off. Unreal Tournament had the best big head mode. Your head got bigger the more kills you got, which made you a bigger target. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Todd mode. Does Todd mode just turn every game into Skyrim? It just works. Big head Todd on the monsters. This reminds me a lot of that, there was a game that we saw a while ago. There were 2 games that we saw a while ago that this reminds me of. One of them was like, this, like, steampunk, Victorian era, monster horror game. And another one was like Death Trap, I think it was Death Trap Dungeon was the other one. Which reminds me a lot of those. And also kind of like Gauntlet. They're Gauntlet Legends, anyway. Is it Gauntlet Legends? The arcade Gauntlet. Could be fun. "16 times the detail." Nightmare Creatures. Yes, Nightmare Creatures. That was the one. Thank you, Wolfie. Death Trap Dungeon is more dungeon crawler. I mean, you're inside a dungeon, but you're still like running up against a lot of enemies and traps and things like that. In this case, you're outside in the forest, but putting aside the settings, a lot of the gameplay is very similar, or at least from what we were seeing in Death Trap. Don't stand next to a downed enemy. That's the golden rule of all beat 'em ups. Anyway, this was Ninja Shadow of Darkness. Looks like a pretty fun game. The achievement set looks pretty nasty though, and I'm seeing a lot of people getting these achievements in softcore mode. No masters yet. Might be worth checking out, especially if you enjoyed like some of those other ones we've seen. You kick them when they're down. Well, sometimes in some of them. next up we've got Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. So this is basically for the Persona games. There's two Persona 2s. There's Eternal Punishment and Innocent Sin. Innocent Sin is the first one. This is the second one, and this is the PlayStation Portable port. So the original was on PlayStation 1. So you had Persona, Persona 2, both versions of Persona 2 on PlayStation 1. And then this is the port. So it might actually look a little bit better, as some of the PSP games do look a little bit better than the PlayStation 1 originals. I'm going to guess this set's probably pretty similar to the set that already exists for the PlayStation 1 version. I don't know personally if I want to do both PSP and PS1. I will definitely do the original PS1 set for sure at some point. Because I want to do all the Megami Tensei games at some point. But if you enjoy dungeon crawlers, if you enjoy RPGs, if you enjoy kind of Pokemon-esque gameplay mechanics of, it's kind of the original in some ways. Though Persona's a little bit different. Persona's you're building up your own characters by combining like cards of enemies that you collect. It's not quite like the original Megami Tensei series where you bring Akuma into your team and then like fuse them into different things. Innocent Sin. Okay, that's the best oxymoron I've heard. Do them both at the same time. Maybe. We'll see. Nekomata search mission. Oh yeah, I will say, in the game, in Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, there's like this rumor system, and you unlock a lot of side quests by spreading different types of rumors. And sometimes I think spreading some means you can't spread others. So you might, for a lot of these missables, you might have to go through the game multiple times. Or you might have to go back to previous saves to unlock different paths that allow you to get different things. So that is one caveat I should add when you play these games. Innocent Sin, I might call it like Persona 2.1, and this is like 2.2, maybe. Persona Innocent Sin did have a rumor system, but it wasn't quite as central to the game. As it is in Eternal Punishment. Your main character here is a reporter, so you gotta do some yellow journalism, as they say, spreading rumors and such. But yeah. Anyway, I would oh, this is worth significantly more points than the original. That's interesting. Maybe we should play the PlayStation Portable version. Anywho, I would highly recommend these games if you haven't played them. They do get pretty dark, and they do have some of that like emo 90s teen kind of storylines where like you fight God at the end kind of thing. But don't take them too seriously, I would say. Anywho, Persona 2. Next up, we got Shrek the Third. We saw Foxy playing this one over the weekend on Saturday breakfast stream. Spreading rumors. Yeah, spreading rumors. Yeah, so this is kind of a third-person platformer, 3D platformer, action-adventure beat-em up. It actually didn't look that bad as far as games go, even though the third movie is often the one that's not very well liked as much. The game actually looked pretty fun, pretty okay. Not a bad game, bit generic. Yeah, that was my impression of just watching Foxy play it. Do be prepared to be deluged with middle school humor, a lot of fart jokes and such. As is the way with anything related to Shrek or Austin Powers, that guy, that actor. Not Austin Powers, Mike Myers? Mike Myers. So this is PSP. Okay. Oh, this is the PSP one. Oh yeah. I guess you played the PS2 one, but it's pretty much the same game, I think.
Oh, come on now, Shrek. It can't be that bad. Please behave. Oh, ow. Man. Anoka, help him.
Yeah, I think you must have been playing the PS2 version because this one does not look as good. Textures are definitely a little bit more pixelated. I don't know. Low res. Wolfie says, I actually played this on 360 years ago. Yeah, it didn't seem like a bad game. I'm just saying. Oh, you get finishers? Oh. That was pretty bad.
Well. So much for scouting ahead. You're like 20 feet from where you started. Out of the way, let's go.
You mean he found the switch?
Well, anywho, there you go. Shrek the Third. Pretty lighthearted 3D beat 'em up. Looks like the set has without losing 50% of your health, so a lot of deathless achievos in there, but people are getting them anyway, so it didn't look like a super hard game anyway. Possibly a lot of side quests. I see there's already people who've mastered this one. So there you go. If you like Shrek, that might be worth a shot. Next up we got Gumby. This is another one that Foxy played over the weekend. This one looked pretty neat. Didn't the controls were maybe a little bit janky. It looked a little janky, but you don't see very many Gumby games, and just the graphical style on it was pretty unique. The camera seemed shaky. Yeah, the camera followed you maybe a little bit too closely. It was kind of like a lot of Game Gear games being very zoomed in. Oh yeah, and the music. The music is super limited. Motion sickness. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the game could definitely like it was running okay. I would think the performance wouldn't be that much worse if they like maybe enlarged the screen size of the area that you can see. Um, like this is definitely like playing Sonic the Hedgehog on Game Gear, just super limited vision. Oh, and it had really like stupid simple bosses from what we saw. You get motion sickness in old FPS games. Yeah, yeah, like the original Doom or Wolfenstein 3D. Wild Donphan, a spawn for those doing Pokemon. Okay, so there's some deathless hard mode stuff, but people are earning them. So probably a pretty easy badge as far as things go. Next up, we got Turmoil on the Atari 2600. The ones that have the side-to-side motion when you run. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember some of those. Worked out recently. It's because of the bobbing. Some games you could turn it off. Yeah, the weapon bobbing. Yeah, I remember a few places in games where that was pretty bad. So this is a shoot 'em up on the Atari 2600. Light up the lanes by pausing with the color toggle button and enjoy for a moment. Collect 20 prizes in a single game. Finish a round without allowing any arrows to cross the screen and become tanks. Arrows become tanks. Overflow the scoreboard. Reach a stalemate with a tank. So this is Turmoil. Atari 2600. You know, it'd be pretty hard to play this and like know what the power-ups are and what the enemies are. I imagine you get used to it, but Manny says this console sucks. Manny's not a huge fan of Atari 2600, as you can tell. There's a guy named Hardcore XBL, who hangs out with us on VCG servers sometimes. Throw him a shout out here. He plays a lot of Atari 2600 games. So he's a fan. Drake says this is a pretty decent game, as you recall. Ba-ba. Well, anyway, that is Turmoil. You got to clear at least level 9 from level 1, so you got to do it in one sitting. Get your maximum number of reserve ships, so go deathless for a while. Gotta get up to 20,000 points. Okay, and I guess those things he was picking up were the prizes, so those are probably worth points in there. You have to go into one of the lanes to pick them up. So there you go. Pretty straightforward game. It's basically 2D Tempest. Wolfie says, I'm not old enough to recall Atari games. Manny says, Hardcore still can't give me 10 great games. 10 good games on this console, still waiting. I haven't played enough on it to say myself. I would say, of the games that I have played, that I remember from, parents and friends of parents that had consoles that that let us play, they were retro at the time. They were not current gen. But we did play some Space Invaders. Space Invaders was fun, but Space Invaders is super simple and fun pretty much everywhere. Missile Command is pretty fun. What else did we play? We never played like the ET game. I don't remember if Centipede was on there. I played Centipede elsewhere, and Centipede was fun. Oh, Manny says he's second on the leaderboard for this game. Nice. Wolfie says he has badged a bunch of Atari 2600 games. Drake says that's just because you don't know what a good game is. I would. Minnie's got a pretty good opinion. I would say Minnie's quite the connoisseur. Cosmic says I can give you 10 of my favorites, but I can't guarantee you like them. Yeah, I mean Cosmic suggested some pretty good ones to us in the Scanlines community. So we've played. There was the firefighting games like I think it's Deadly Towers. That was kind of interesting. And then Demon Attack looked pretty cool. Drake's like, he's fine. I'm talking smack. I know. Towering Inferno. Sorry, not Deadly Towers. Towering Inferno. They're definitely more than good games. Yep. Okay. So next up, we've got Namco Museum 50th anniversary. We did see. Yeah, we saw the. I think there's a PlayStation 1 that has achievements. It's basically just another collection of some of the classics. You got Miss Pac-Man, you've got Galaga, you've got Pac-Man, so Miss Pac-Man and Pac-Man, Dig Dug. Oh, there you go. Pac-Man and Dig Dug on Atari 2600 are pretty decent. But they're everywhere too. They're on NES and arcade. Rally X. Okay, so a handful of games here. So if you've already played these on on arcade, on Atari, on NES, might be worth a shot to go pick up one of these and get some free points. Usually this is the collections here are kind of abbreviated sets of achievements from other more full games. So if you've already got a lot of those classic arcade games, you might go for one of these, and might have an easier time badging this one than any particular one of the games that are the individual games. Ba-ba-ba. Nice Namco collection on GBA. Yep. Oh, Pac-Man on Atari is not good. That's too bad. Miss Pac-Man is decent. Mrs. Pac-Man was good. OG Pac, no. Bum, bum, bum. Anyway, so there you go, Namco Museum. Next we got Laplace No Ma, the Unit of Laplace. You know what, I'm actually going to... I've already got this loaded up, or I had this loaded up earlier, so let me go ahead and bring it back up real quick. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. And we go over to my RetroArch scene. Is it picking it up? Oh, it's not picking up my RetroArch. There we go. This is actually a pretty neat game. It's a lot like Sweet Home. It's an RPG where you wander around a haunted mansion and you fight various things. In some ways, it's kind of like Slaughterhouse if Slaughterhouse was an RPG instead of a 2D platformer. River Raid and Pitfall 2 are both awesome. Asteroids is good. Space Invaders is good. Laplace's Demon. So you pick some of your characters to start with. You have different classes in this. Kind of like different jobs in some other RPGs where you have maybe like a geologist or what am I thinking of? Like in Final Fantasy, you've got like summoner and white mage, black mage, blue mage, fighter, warrior, lancer, all kinds of different things like that. And this one, it's more like a I guess almost like a Cthulhu type setting. You have like a detective, journalist, scientist, dabbler, psychic, medium, stuff like that. And detective gets like it's basically your gunslinger kind of guy, and he also has a good ability to detect clues. Your journalist takes pictures, and you take pictures of ghosts to go out to turn around and sell them, and that's how you make money in the game. Your medium and your dabbler have like psychic attacks, and there's different enemies that you come across that are weak to certain things and strong against other things. I will say the music is a little bit limited so far, and it takes forever to get even A level. Like, I haven't leveled up at all, and I played this for a couple hours earlier today. So I've already beat like the first two bosses, and I'm still level 1. I'm still level 1. But you kind of wander around, look for clues, look for, items to use in different places, and there's some random encounters here. So like banshees. Like, I've never encountered banshees before. It has a pretty cool battle theme, at least. You have a couple different abilities. Like, you can try talking. For the most part, talking fails unless it's a story ghost. Like, you come across maybe a ghost that's infesting like a bed or a desk or something, and usually those can talk to you and give you like hints about what to do next. But these ones, you pretty much, if you try to talk, you'll just lose a turn. So it's not quite as interesting as like Megami Tensei, where you could convince things you come across to give you like money or other things. But you have your photographer, like, photograph things. Here's my scientist. This is like Egon. He has like a strange beam and magnetic line, and this is kind of interesting. You can kill things by depleting either their HP or their MP. So magnetic line does MP damage, strange beam does HP damage. If your characters take MP damage, if they go all the way down, instead of dying, they turn insane. And when they're insane, they're like confused. So you can have them try to attack, and they'll attack with a madman strength. So it's like 5x strength, but they'll often hit themselves or hit your party mates. So you don't really want them to go insane. But you can do that kind of thing. And here's my dabbler. And so my dabbler can do both like physical damage, and he can do like mythos attacks, which are basically magic. Mythos so far are not super strong. I think I might do like I might just like buff one of my characters here. So the Banshee here's one of them did an AoE mind attack. Okay, so endowment just trades MP from one character to another. The review part's not entirely over, but I already had this loaded up, so I'm like, rather than bringing up a video, I'm just gonna like bring it out and play a round or two. So I've enjoyed my time with this one so far. I'm interested in continuing it and badging it. So I think I will. I'm also working on the MSX set for Dragon Quest. So I started those today. But it's a cool game. I would recommend it if you're looking for a new game to try and if you're into RPGs. Worth checking out. Hopefully I can actually defeat these guys. Oh, great. I'm gonna start getting insane characters pretty soon here. Okay, so you do get specials, and they're kind of like limit breaks, but at least so far, my specials aren't great. My photographer special blinds everybody, blinds all the enemies for a while, and my scientist special does like an AOE beam attack that does very little damage, and my dabbler's AOE does an AOE. My dabbler's special is an AOE fire attack, which does very little damage, which is unfortunate. And my main character, his special is just pummel, so it's just like a physical attack that does less damage than the regular attack, but has a higher chance of hitting. So it's like Drake says, "I bully you for not knowing what good is." Are you guys having arguments about Atari still? Objectively, Dennis the Menace is phenomenal. Oh no, Knocker's gonna put Dennis the Menace on everybody's wheel now. All right, let's do Strange Beam. I have no MP left. I guess we'll just do special, sure. We got 2 insane characters now. Got three insane characters, 4 insane characters. Oh boy. Okay. If you go insane all the way, you die. And that is how we all got killed. Pepsi Man is in fact the greatest. Nice. Just Frank's. Well, Frank really liked it. Frank had Matt play. I think it was Matt, the guy who came over. He had play it. Anyway, so that was La Place de Ma. I went to an area that I'm probably not geared yet for. That's probably why I went upstairs. I went upstairs like, hey, I've not actually been upstairs. I wonder how it is. But I just got wrecked. So upstairs is not the place to go. Anyway, that was La Place de Ma. Cool game. Cool game. I'd recommend giving it a shot if you, like I said, if you like RPGs. Especially if you played Sweet Home and liked Sweet Home. It's got a lot of very similar elements. It is developed by Vic Tokai, which is usually a bad sign or a sign of some jank, but I'm enjoying this so far. Foxy says I wouldn't mind playing Pepsi Man again. Did you batch Pepsi Man? Rev put that on my viewer request wheel, so I've played a bit of it now. I don't mind Pepsi Man. Foxy Man says, "Oh, I want to be mean and time out, but Knocker's a bit safe for now. Even here, I'm not safe." From Whiteface Foxy. Oh dear. Cosmic wants to time everybody out. Nah. Anyway, the set for it's pretty straightforward too. It's basically, wander about, and level up your characters all the way. Do different things in the mansion. There are some missables. You don't have multiple save slots, which is something to keep in mind on this one. So once you save, you have to start over to go back if you do. But anywho, it's pretty neat game. I would highly recommend taking a photographer with you every time, because you have to, that's the only way you can make money in this game is through ghost photographs, some of the ghost photographs. Anywho. Think you all need to relax and agree that Space Invaders sucks. I mean, Space Invaders is a very, very, very basic shoot 'em up. It's not great by any means, but it's fine for its time. and it's, you know, the challenge is like you can only shoot one bullet on screen at a time, so you have to have deadly aim, but so it's kind of well balanced, sort of, but it's not a great game. It's not, you know, it's not anywhere close to like Death Smiles or Ketsui or any of those things. Anywho, next up we've got Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith on PS2. So this is a action adventure 3D fighting game. Let's see here. Da, da, da. Gotta find the secrets on these levels. Earn at least 45,000 experience points. I guess that means basically kill everything or kill most everything. Oh, somebody else. Defeat Count Dooku without restoring health. Okay, so it's not a damageless. It's not a deathless. I mean, it kind of is a deathless, but it's a don't heal yourself. Got to do hard difficulty, earning at least so much experience. Brat's got some people into video games. Brat's like the emo teeny bopper dolls from like the what, early 2000s. Many Hours says this game is whack, like insanely whack. I should tell Will White about Crow City of Angels on PS1. That game is horrific. Bratz is not a thing, Drake says. Okay, so basically go through the levels, find the secrets, beat them on hard, beat the bosses without restoring health. Oh, there's a versus mode. You have to beat different enemies as certain people. That's kind of neat. Huh. Okay. You have to win around with a particular attack. That could be hard. And then there's a cooperative mode. Basically just complete the game on co-op, looks like. Okay, let's take a look at this one. This is Revenge of the Sith. Is that right? Star Wars Episode 3. Episode 3, PS2 gameplay. Ba-ba-bum.
The Chancellor isn't in this hangar. We have to move on. We're going to have company. Try mixing light and heavy attacks. Thanks for the tip.
Okay, so kind of a 3D beat 'em up in some ways.
Keep your guard up.
I wonder if you can do the hard achievements in co-op. If it's a fully compatible multiplayer set, aside from the versus stuff, then that'd be kind of cool. Every game is better with friends. This guy isn't warping. 0 out of 10 gameplay.
Saber will burn through that door. When do you draw your
There's the Grievous fight.
Where do these droids keep coming from? Federation droids.
Bum, bum, bum.
Feel the dark side's power.
Wait, is that Leslie Nielsen? Dude, that's Leslie Nielsen. Look at that face.
Your favorite student is no more.
I taught you better than this.
Surely you can't be serious.
You can't beat me. This ends now. If that's your best, give up now.
You'll pay for your treachery.
I don't think so. That's better.
Buck to tank.
Stay down.
Okay, so you play as Anakin for some of it. Dark Anakin.
Cheap Federation droids.
Looking very emo.
I'm ready for anything now.
Well, there you go. If you liked Star Wars prequels, like first of all, why? But if you do, this might be a game of interest to you. If you like the some of the other beat 'em ups that came out in this era, I mean, they were a lot of them pretty decent games, even if the movies kind of sucked. Um, I haven't really played a whole lot of them. I think I played the. I think there was one for Episode 1 that we played. The Lego games were a lot of fun. The Lego Star Wars games were a lot of fun. So I would recommend those. But you know, if you like the style of game, it might be a fun time. And if you got someone to play it with, might be a fun time. That totally looked like Leslie Nielsen, didn't it? We need to watch Airplane for movie night sometime. Airplane's a good one. This part where there's a CAPTCHA and R2 is screwed. I played the Lego game. I played one of the Star Wars on PC that came out same time as prequels. Yeah, there were some pretty decent games, you know, from the time. And like I said, even if the movies were kind of like over convoluted stories and not well written, and you know, kind of George Lucas was allowed to huff his own farts, kind of. Even with all that, some of the games were still pretty decent, like I said. So we're checking out. Pod Racer was great. Yeah. Airplane 2 was a lot of fun too. Airplane 2 I like even more than Airplane 1. It's got all the switches and the lights and the sounds and the beeping. All right, next up we got Green Dog, the Beached Surfer Dude. So this game we had as a, I think it was a monthly melee to just like beat the first level and like meet the dog on the beach or something like that. Some bits of the movies didn't suck. The movies, the prequels, yeah. This was a kind of interesting platformer. It's okay. It's a little bit janky here and there. The controls are not the best, not the most precise. But I don't know. I played it. I played through the first level at least, and it was okay. If somebody tossed it on my wheel, I might play it to badge it, but probably wouldn't pick it up of my own volition. Pretty straightforward set here. Each 40,000 points. Grab a bone, release the hound upon your enemies. There's some Deathless Achievos. I think Deathless is pretty doable in this game, though. And people are already earning achievements, so that's a good sign. There's already 4 masters for this one. So we can take a quick look at Green Dog. I vaguely remember, I think it was Saiyan was talking about this one being, and a wild Cremorant spawn for those doing Pokemon. I think it was, I think Saiyan was talking about this one when we had it as our monthly melee, and was saying that there was quite the advertising campaign for it. something like that. I'm not sure. He definitely wanted to play some Monster Hunter later today, so I'm hoping he'll be on and around. Did he say anything? Doesn't look like he said anything in general about it, so no reply yet. That's not a good sign. Hope he's doing okay. Ba-bum. Anyway, it's a little bit wonky. The hitboxes are a little bit difficult to figure, and your character's hitbox is pretty large in this, so that's a little bit annoying. This was the inspiration for One Piece. I would say my impression of this was it's a pretty mid game. It's not bad, but it's not good either. Just having played like the through the first level, getting to the first boss or whatever, it was like I said, it was okay. Cosmic says, I like the sprite work and music. That's cool. It definitely has a very unique style to it. I'm gonna take the music. Music's pretty decent. I think this was the first boss. This guy's just face tanking it. Well, sounds like that reviewer and I are about on the same page. I remember this part controlled pretty badly, if I remember right. And it really does. It sounds like a kind of a ripoff of Under the Sea here, for whatever reason. Anywho, there's Green Dog. Like I said, there's already some masters for it, so it's a pretty straightforward set. Next up we've got Kitsui. I was pretty hyped to see this one, and I did play a little bit, as you can see. Pretty cool game. It's another cave shooter. A lot of no death and no bombs achievos, which are pretty challenging. Pretty challenging for this kind of game. Collect extra life. Beat the game without continuing. Beat the game without using any bombs or dying, while also scoring 120 million points or more. That basically means no continues. So no continues, no bombs, no death. So that is pretty challenging. That's a 100-pointer, and that's definitely worth 100 points. Look, I keep getting phone keeps going off. One sec, guys. Huh. Oh, I like a voicemail. Well, no big deal. Head to that later. You might get Game Boy Guru into playing this, though he's not an achievement guy. Oh yeah, I'm sure. This is the arcade version. Yes, this is the arcade version. And yeah, he would. I'm sure he would like this one. I will go ahead and load this one up too because I have it all set up to go. Anyway, so let me switch over again to the RetroArch scene, and we will do Kitsui. Do pause off. Oop, there we go. And let me change the memento here. Let me change the box art because I did grab the Ketsui box art. It's very big. Very big box art. But I'll just go through one level here. It's pretty quick. This game kind of plays like you have kind of a main ship, and then you have like a somebody riding kind of like your co-pilot, and it kind of works out like that one game. Oh, what was the game? I think we played it for review one time, and it was like I'm trying to remember what the name was, but it had this aesthetic that was like steampunk Japan mecha. I don't know. It was cool, but it has some similar mechanics to that game if you remember that game. And I just died because, of course, I'm not great at these, but I like them anyway. And you have like a main attack here that is when you just click the button. You have this kind of more of a spread attack, I guess I would say. And when you, oop, dang it, I didn't get out of there fast enough. When you hold it down, you slow down, which is kind of cool. But you have a very limited range of attack. Oh, shoot. Here we are to the boss. Ba, 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 ba. Ah. Yeah, but when you're doing this kind of fire, you move faster. So sometimes you want to move slower, sometimes you want to move faster. You get a little bit more control sometimes. There we go. And I'm sure there's depending on which weapons you're using at what times, you get more or less of the various power-ups and score. So like you see that number floating up, that's like a combo. Obviously you get more points if you're, getting those without getting hit between. I guess I'll just go until I die, until I get to the continue screen, because we're already like here. Ah! Oh, jeez. I don't know how I survived that. Oh. Oh boy. Uh. 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 Die! Die! Really? Whoa. I feel like I just ran through one. I don't know how I survived. But I'm alive for the moment. Oh, there we go. I knew that was gonna last forever. Uh, there we go. Anyway, that's Kitsui. It's awesome. Give it a shot if you like shoot 'em ups. Cave was Ketsui as follower emotes, although I don't know if they've streamed lately. Oh, nice. Um, sorry, I wasn't paying attention to chat. I was a little focused. To catch up a little bit. I think the first level was good. Can't remember. Is this the arcade version? It is licensed for Japan only, sir. Drake says. I know this game. I'm not good at it either. Got to level 2 or 3. It's a fun game. It is a lot of fun. The one that slows you down is called Focus Shot. Ah. What's this? Kitsui? Yes, it's Kitsui. These games are brutal. They are, but they are a lot of fun. They're very brutal, but they're fun. It is a bullet hell. It is very much. I feel like it's easier to avoid stuff than Raiden, though. Which is crazy to say, but it's cool. I like it a lot. Highly recommend if you like shoot 'em ups. Very difficult to master, but fun to play. So yeah, definitely on my list. Okay. Let me go back to the ARIA review. And that actually worked kind of nice because then we've peppered in playing some of these sets. Even though I didn't get any Chivos there or on Lapless, I got some earlier today. So we did get some Chivos. Anyway, next up here we got Gorillas, which is an artillery game. Interesting. On Uzabox. So I'm guessing this plays out kind of like Scorched Earth and Worms, maybe? Toss a banana towards the sun. Score 1 point against the opposing gorilla. Win the war with 3 total points. Win the war with 5 total points. Win the war with 9 total points. Win the war while being at least 3 points ahead. Start any round. Win in 1 throw. Ooh, 1 banana to rule them all. Well, this sounds kind of interesting. Sounds like a very easy set. I wonder if there's any YouTube videos of it. Uzabox is a little bit... Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hitbox is just a dot. Yeah. Jake says he has this on DOS. It came with Q Basic. Oh. Angle and power. Oh, this is Scorched Earth. This is so Scorched Earth. It's just with gorillas instead of tanks. And it doesn't sound like you get nukes or sheep or things like that. It's actually in basic. Interesting. Well, there's the banana in the sun. They throw exploding bananas. Yeah, I kind of figured that. A wild Whismar spawn for those doing Pokemon. So Drake has the source code for this. It's definitely very slow. We should watch this on 2x speed. Boom. Oh, that's cute. It's like a little pitfall sound effect. Well, there you go. If you enjoyed Smithereens from a couple weeks back, you might give this one a shot. A shot. Give it a shot. Yes. I wasn't even intending to make a pun like that. But anyway, Throw some bananas for great victory. Their heads are upside down. Yeah, they're not the most accurate and anatomically correct ones. Shot through the heart. If you love bananas. All right, so next up we got Blue, Legend of Water on the PlayStation. It is an adventure game and a simulation game. I vaguely remember some ads for this, I think. I don't know, did this ever come out in the US? It did not. I wonder where I saw the ads for this one. Probably not on TV. Okay. So there's some diving involved. Outsmart the robot. Pick up the item behind it. Solve the Sphinx weighing puzzles. Defuse the bomb. Unlock all 20 movies. Alright, so pretty straightforward set. Sounds like you pretty much just gotta, play the game, do the stuff. Let's take a look at this one. BLUE PSX gameplay. That did not come up. Let's say Legend of Water. There we go. I remember there was some diving game we saw 2 weeks back, 3 weeks back. Looks like you got some anime cutscenes. Or maybe cell shaded. He just kind of floated forward. I wonder, I'm just going to pause this. I wonder if there is a translation for this one. There is not. Okay. So this might be a good candidate for a Japanese education session of, playing it and translating as we go. Yeah, this looks a lot like the diving game we saw, forgetting what the name of it was, but we saw one that was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I don't know if that was also under the simulation category. I don't know what the deal with the dolphin with the monocle is, but that's cool. Oh no, it's a 36-hour situation. I hope somebody's got a rusty knife. It's like he's gonna cut himself at the buttocks. Take it out. Gonna be a lot of talking to people in this game. Picking up items, using items in other areas. As you do in adventure games. But looks pretty interesting. Looks pretty interesting. Alright, so that was Blue, Legend of Water. Next up we got Family Guy video game. So this one is a 3D platforming action adventure from the TV series from the, I don't know, I guess this is like early 2000s, mid 2000s, something like that. Fight your way through the dock, says ANNA Peter. Progress further through Bertram's lair. Win with at least 75% health. At least 50% of your health. So not quite damageless, but well, I guess it depends on how hard things are hitting, but Family the Guy, the show, enjoyed by 13-year-olds across the globe. Yeah. It's pretty lowball humor, for sure. Let's see, Family Guy, yes, video game, PS2, play.
Still out here, huh?
Victory is mine! I need a condenser from an electron microscope and a coil from an MRI machine. And then, you know, whenever it's convenient, I'm kind of in the mood for a taste.
Well, it gets the cartoon style down in terms of the art style here.
In this model, the aperture is all the way at the top. Cursed Koreans and their slipshod ergonomics.
Very angry Stewie.
Security, there is a man in a red and yellow floral shirt stuck in the nurse's shower.
Now this is what I'm talking about. Me on the big screen. Oh yeah, baby, I'm looking good.
I think Wolfie pretty much nailed it. Looks pretty decent though. I mean, got some 3D platforming fun, exploration, pretty basic combat.
Wow, this is just like Bible camp.
Oh boy. I got kind of a shoot 'em up phase here. And you can strafe, at least on this level. They even gave them like Space Invader sound effects.
Time for the old lampshade disguise. Hey, there's
Oh, stealth sections? Stealth sections. Great. Okay, well, looks like a actually pretty decently put together game. I can't say I'm the biggest fan of Family Guy, so I'm just looking at this as like kind of eh. But if you like the series, might be worth a shot. If you like action adventure games, 3D platforming, maybe worth a shot. Looks like it's got quite a lot of variety in the situations you come across. There's probably some of them that are painful. Almost always are in this kind of game. But there you go. And the set, like we were looking through the set, and it, I don't know, are there masters yet? I heard people that are pretty close. Fight your way through the casino as a hooker. So I guess you have to find a costume or something. It looks like people aren't earning these damageless, or they're not quite damageless, but get your way through the stealth section without getting caught. And then the 75% health remaining. So that's probably not quite damageless, but close. Those ones look like they're hard to get. Was not expecting to say as a hooker. That was in the commentary on the that was the direction on the achievement. What can I say? But anyway, it is a new set, so maybe we'll see in a little while if these are hard or difficult based on if people are getting them. It looks like there is a Futurama game as well. I didn't know that, but not surprising. It's pretty popular series. Family Guy, Futurama, The Simpsons. Bum. It's just unexpected. Yes, there's a Futurama game. Yep. All right, next up we've got another pinball game. This one's Pac-Man Pinball. And Sark looks like he's near badging it if he hasn't already. He's at the top of the chart already. Up until that point, I had no interest. I said the magic words for Wolfie to pay attention, I guess. Check out the alternate table skins. I'll light up all the Pac-Man letters. Eat 4 ghosts under a single power pellet. That's very Pac-Man-y. Enter the maze for the first time. Music must be set to on for those achievements. Collect a Galaxian. Complete level 8. Okay, so actually for a pinball set, this does not seem that extreme. The largest point value here is 100,000 points. Yeah, as we said before, it's a little bit hard to know if that's a high goal or not. But let's take a look and see how this one is. Gonna make my own theme park with blackjack and hookers. Yeah, that's very Futurama. Dun, dun, dun. Well, they got the sound effects down, that's for sure. Oh yeah, they got the sound effects down. Let's, I think they have multiple tables. Looks like there's some bonus areas here. Oh, this is a revision? No, it says it's new. It says new. Maybe it was broken and they re-released it? Re-released the set? And not like the real physical game, Baby Pac-Man? Ah. Okay, there are different tables. I think? Yeah, okay. It doesn't look like it performs the best. Like seems like there's a bit of slowdown here and there. But anyway, that is Pac-Man Pinball Advance. And then he says, it was taken down, then re-put up entirely. It says new, but I have achievements in it from before. Oh, that's interesting. So it kept your achievements. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. All right, so there's another pinball game, and that one looks, like I said, the set for it looks pretty achievable. Next up, we've got Space Wars on the Vectrex. We don't see a whole lot of Vectrex games, so this is cool. And I think Space Wars is one of the very, 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 very early games out there. This isn't the earliest version of it, but it is historically significant. This was actually one of the ones that that book I was talking about a while back with Drake included a section on. It was a fun game. I streamed it a bunch last year. Oh, for Pinball Advance? Cool. Space Wars is an early game. Definitely. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so there's a couple different modes you can switch between. So I'm guessing Vectrex probably has like the Fairchild Channel F and the and television. Like you might start the game up and it'll have like you have to click different buttons on the controller, which would have been, you know, a Vectrex controller probably. That's a lot more buttons than you might expect for a controller. Let's see. Oh, it actually looks like a fighting stick. Interesting. So you have just 4 buttons. Has some very interesting games. All right, let's take a look at this one. Space Wars. Vectrex. Oh, this plays kind of like Asteroids. And looks like a little Enterprise from Star Trek. Oh, you can lose parts of your ship and still survive. Interesting. It's a tie. No emulator does it justice, except for one you've seen. They might get the mechanics correct, but not the screen. Ah. Well, there you go. So it's like a versus 2-player Asteroids. I was kind of expecting something else. Maybe because it was Space War, not Space Wars, that I was reading about. Okay. Beat Mode 6 without losing a single round. Okay, so the different modes are basically like different difficulty levels. Yeah, Space War I think is a different game, probably. But this is still pretty early on and interesting. And then we got a Wonder Boy that came out on the SG-1000. So I think we've probably seen Wonder Boy before on a Master System. Probably. It's probably an achievement for it. Oh, there's an Amstrad CPC version. There's the arcade version. The Game Gear version. Several Genesis games. And the Master System. Okay, so the Master System one we've seen before. This is the SG-1000 version. But it's going to play a lot like Adventure Island. This is kind of basically, I'm forgetting all the history, but Hudson Soft, I think Hudson Soft owned the rights to, I'm forgetting which one was made first. I think Adventure Island was made first. And then they kind of split. This game matches what you know about Space War? Oh, okay. Wonder Boy was first? Okay, Wonder Boy was first. There's a huge history of this game, Legacy. Yeah, so it's interesting. I'm not remembering all the details of it right now, but Wonder Boy and Adventure Island basically started from the same seed and then split off. And this one's probably, like, the first one is going to be very similar to the first Adventure Island, from what I understand. So if you like this game, if you like that game, then you'd probably like this game as well. I'm not sure, like, obviously they have different levels and things, but I'm not sure how exactly closely they play. But let's take a look. Wonder Boy SG-1000 gameplay. Oh, when they made it for NES, they changed the name to Adventure Island. Okay. So it started on Sega, and then Hudson Soft ported it over, and they put their own, they put one of their employees in, who was their, I only remember the employee because he got interviewed on Game Center CX, and it was like, I think it was Takahashi, something like that. But, was it Takahashi? Anyway, but he was he was famous for being able to hit, I think he was like a world record holder for how fast he could shoot in like Xevious or something like that. Drake says, I saw a nice family chart of the games. Oh, that's cool. Oh, this is very much like Adventure Island. Okay. Foxy was here. He knows all about it. He loves these games. Yeah, I think Oaz is pretty well versed in that too. So you seem to have, if I remember correctly, in Adventure Island, it's instant death, isn't it? Looks like he's just losing some health when he hits things here. Working very slowly on Game Maker Studio in the background? Nice. You need to eat food to keep going. Yeah. It's like in that game you have like a timer that you need to eat food to restore, but if you get hit, you're just instant dead. So this one's maybe a little bit easier. And as much as when you get hit, it looks like when you get hit, you're just losing some of that timer at the top rather than dying. I'm betting if he fell in the water here, he would instant die, though. you want to eat food right now, but it'd just be to get fat? Well, then you'd have an excuse to do more Pokemon Go, right? Alright, so that was Wonder Boy. If you enjoyed the Sega Master System version, or some of the later Genesis games, this might be interesting to go back to as a matter of history. Or it just might be fun to play. And as from what Drake was saying, this is the first game, essentially the first game in both the Wonder Boy and Adventure Island series. This is the one that started it all. Either this one or the Master System version. I'm not sure how that works, but there do seem to be some Master System games that were made before their SG-1000 counterparts, and vice versa. So I'm not it's not always clear which one was made first. But anyway, there you go. That is the last of that section. And we still have, it's been about almost 3 hours, getting towards 9 o'clock, a little after 9 o'clock actually. So, yeah, okay. So I don't see Saiyan, but Saiyan wanted to do some Monster Hunter after our review today, and he's not around. Drake, were you up for some Monster Hunter? Shall we switch gears and do some of that? Because it's already this late. What do you want to do? I could just, since Saiyan's not showing up, we could go and okay. Alrighty. Well, we'll just go to the our normal community highlights section. Yeah, that was the last game of Cosmic. The last new set. So let's go weekly. And we'll travel back in time to last week. And let's go from the top today. So, Chrono was doing some Ghouls and Ghosts on arcade. Some Shove It on Mega Drive. So Chrono is often one of the ones that jumps on some of the new sets. I'll throw him a shout out while we're looking at his stuff. Da-da-da. He needs to stream more, but he's a pretty cool dude. He's really good at Souls games. Really, really diverse interest in a lot of different genres. He also does much of the adventure games and simulation stuff. As well as 3D platformers, 2D platformers, puzzle games, RPGs. I don't know if I've seen him do racing games, but does a lot. A wild Swoobat appears. Those doing Pokemon. Drake says, "Dude, I play Ghouls and Ghosts in the arcade." Yeah, that's a game that's everywhere. Next up, we got Sark. He's been playing Pinball Advance because he's the pinball champ. Final Fight is his. He moved that to do on Sundays. That was one of his no racing games. Wolfie says. Bum, bum, bum. Let me throw a shout out for Sarconius. Da, da, da. But Snowboard Kids 2 was his last request game that he badged, and then Final Fight was the next one. But Final Fight ended up being a royal pain in the butt, so he moved that to be his Sunday afternoon, evening game. And then he's working on, I think Mega Man X5 is his next main game. So he's a badging monster as usual. He's already badged Crisis Core. That's nuts. That was one of the games he was playing offline, and he did Jetman and Rayman 3 as his other quest games. You didn't make it to the first boss? in Dungeon in Ghouls and Ghosts. Next up, we got Wise. Throw Wise a shout out. I think he's probably already streaming tonight. Da, da, da. Yeah, I mean it's a difficult series for sure. Very cool game, awesome music, awesome visuals, but very painful. So Wise has been working on the Ninja Gaiden Game Boy game. I think I tossed this to him the other day because we were talking about him. And there's a Game Gear game as well. And an Atari Lynx game, which looks like he booted that one up. He's booted up Aria of Sorrow. He badged 3D World Runner. Almost badged Joust. I think that one was on Rev's suggestion. He's playing it right now. Aha! And hey, Rev. Hope you're doing well today. I think I did see you earlier, but let me throw a shout out. Just cuz. There are 2 Ninja Gaiden for Lynx. Right. I think only one of them has a set so far, though. Next up, we got Knocker, who was here earlier. Might still be here. Da-da-da. Knocker badged Jack Brothers, or was playing Jack Brothers. Buster Brothers. That's our challenge game. Is that our challenge game? Don't remember if that's a challenge game or a review game, but it's one of our games for Scanlines this week. Throw Scanlines a shout out since I'm talking about them. But I have been pretty off about actually doing the review games and challenge games. I should get back on that. But I think Willow was our review game last week, and he badged that one too. So this is it was a pretty interesting looking game. And of course Mega Man 3, Mega Man X6. I would imagine he's probably already badged those earlier, and he just rebooted them to play them. And I know he already badged X6 earlier. Want to see his top tier trash for Willow? Haunted by that Britney karaoke clip. Oh yeah, that seems to come up a lot. Challenges the radio. Oh yeah, Stampede. Oh, once you see his top tier trash for Buster Brothers. Yeah, it's a long game. But you're almost there, man. At this point, you got to get it. And knowing Knocker, it's you'll get it eventually. Next up, we've got Navanos. Navanos is a pretty cool dude. Also, very excellent gamer. Shout out. He's been playing some Castlevania The Adventure. Looks like he badged that one. That's cool. Rystar. We caught him playing Rystar the other day. I think I forget who rated in, but he's playing that. Might have been Foxy that rated in. Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge. I think he said he actually was enjoying the was it Chronicles? He said it was actually not that bad a game on Game Boy. Which I think that's the one you play Sonia. No, maybe that's PS1. Anyway, he's been playing the Game Boy games and Medieval and Alien Soldier. Drake says, I saw your favorite, Bang Panic, at the arcade. Didn't play it though. Yeah, I should give the arcade version a try. I played the SG-1000 version, and I badged the Master System version. That game is ridiculously fun. Like, it's not hard. It's not that challenging, but it's just fun. Gonna need Nev to badge it for you. He liked Belmont's Revenge and thought Legends wasn't awful. Oh, Legends, not Chronicles. Okay. Adventure is bad though. Oh, alright. It's usually the Belmont's Revenge that I hear is pretty good on Game Boy. I watched Sark badge that, and I watched Vance Deathless it. Yeah. Anyway, next up we got Pulse. And Pulse is, I think, still streaming. He was going after the Contra 3 badge today. He's at 29 out of 30. Cool. So he's made some progress. I hope that means... Okay, cool. So he's probably working on the... he's working on the don't get hit, basically deathless the entire game, but it can be done on any difficulty. So that's nice. Yep. But he was working on the Stage 6 hard mode for such a long time earlier today and yesterday. So I'm glad to see that he got that. So GG's to him. Looks like he also booted up Dragon, and we saw him playing a bunch of Dennis the Menace the other day. And then Silent Hill is the next game on his queue. So Pulse is busy as usual. I guess I kind of skipped down to him. I don't know why. Oh, probably because that caught my eye. Anyway, we'll do Rockstar Lexi next. Sorry for going out of order, guys. Need to beat Ketsui with no continues and super easy. Go for it, sir. Go for it. Looks like Lexi's playing some Arcade's Revenge. Oh no. Oh no. That is a pretty awful game. Ninja Gaiden on NES and some Star Fox. And she badged Jack Brothers last week and DKC too. So GG's on that, Lexi. That was pretty cool to see. And then Manny. He's been playing oh, looks like he just badged the blue version of the Professor Oak's challenge for Pokemon Blue. You know, was that a set that came out last week? That must have come out last week. I don't remember talking about it today, but it's got a set. It's got a Oak's Challenge subset. And then Burnout Revenge was what he was playing earlier. He was streaming that. So we'll throw him another shout out here. Yeah, because you're into the derby, destruction derby type games, so I think you would definitely enjoy that series. Oh, and he's already started some of the Midnight Club 3 that we saw. And doing some Earth Defense Force. I saw Owaz playing, I guess I saw Owaz playing a more recent Earth Defense Force, so I'm not familiar with the Super Nintendo version. You already followed earlier for some Burnout? Cool. Yeah, Wolfie, you would definitely enjoy Manny's channel, for sure. Then we got Necro. He's also playing some Arcade's Revenge. Throw Necro a shout out here. Dun, dun, dun. Played some Frogger on ColecoVision. Contra 3, some Armored Core. Cool. Armored Core is a good game. The Mean Bean Machine, Conquer's Bad Fur Bay. Yeah, so if you're not familiar with Necro, he does basically this democracy on his channel where people can vote what he plays next, and he'll play a game for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, get a Chivo here, get a Chivo there. I think he does spend some time during his streams, like sort of mainlining one game. I did catch him playing some of this last night. Leisure Suit Larry for Apple II. Oh boy. Anyway. But, cool dude. We'll check it out. Oh, voting. Yeah, he takes votes on what he should play next, kind of thing. And he, like, puts out some suggestions and then puts out a number to choose. And then he'll play the next one for 5 or 10 minutes or whatever. Welch said he was going to stream Leisure Suit Larry. Oh. Interesting. Next up we got Pookums. Dun, dun, dun. Lord Pookums. He's currently streaming. He's playing some Solstice on NES. Which I've heard is a pretty interesting game. He's also doing some Rad Racer 1 and 2, some Adventure Island, some Willow. Yeah, I think I caught his Willow stream the other day. That's some of the Mega Man games. Bum, bum, bum. You've heard good things about Solstice? Yeah, it's kind of interesting. And then as for me, I was playing some games today. I started on the Dragon Quest MSX2 set, which is they don't have a save system on this version. They just have they didn't have a save system on the original Famicom version either. They had a password system, so they have a password system on this one. And there's some pretty hard chivos on this. I'm gonna have to keep the game open essentially until I beat it, because you have to do in one session defeat the Dragon Lord without dying, defeat the Dragon Lord without using equipment. So don't equip a sword, don't equip a shield, don't equip armor, and working on that one. Can only play it 2 days of the year though. Oh right, because it's solstice. And then I had picked out another Picross game to do while at work, and this one is awful as far as the this is the Oikaki puzzle series from the Superlight, and it's not worth anything. Like every 5 puzzles you get 4 points for 20 by 20s. It's like that ought to be 10 points. Then 20 by 20s take like 20 minutes each, and it's like ugh. So you're spending like an hour and a half for 4 points, and another hour and a half for another 4 points. It's just 20 by 20s are super easy. I mean, they're not 40 by 40s, but like they take 20 minutes. They take me. Well, I guess I should step back from that. There are ones that I can solve in maybe 15 minutes or so, or maybe 10 minutes or so. Like there are some that are 10 by 10, or there are some that are like 10-minute ones. But for the average, 20 by 20 takes me around 15 minutes each. 15 minutes to 20 minutes. So it's like you do 5 of those, 5 times 15, that's what 75 minutes? Yeah, 75 minutes. So a little, yeah, like an hour, hour and 15, for 4 points. It's like, sometimes it's worth it for the ratio rather than the base points. Anyway, it's Picross. It's mind-numbing. It's easy to do when I'm on a call or something. It's whatever. Sorry for ranting, guys. But I'm gonna work on Dragon Quest instead. So playing this drove me to go back to RPGs, to grindy RPGs. I'm like, I need to do some more Dragon Quest. So that's a lot more fun. It's a lot more fun than Picross. Picross is a good chill game. It is a good chill game. And yeah, they give you like half an hour to solve any given puzzle, so you're not really under large time constraints. But yeah. Next up is Wolfie. Wolfie, you're really high up on the list this last week. So congrats. Playing a lot of Need for Speed Underground, some Fatal Fury on the Neo Geo Pocket. Very cool. Booted up some games. Don't sound so surprised. Well, I mean, you're back to playing. You actually weren't that. I guess there have been some weeks where you've been pretty high up. I just you've been focused on like Xbox or other things, so I don't usually see you on the lists, and then suddenly you're up there in the 400 points in a week. That's a fair amount, man. Next up is Foxy. But yeah, Wolfie was playing some Need for Speed Underground, and that. Foxy's been working on Mega Man Legends. Interesting. I'm guessing that's his off-stream game for now. Throw him another shout out. Drake needs to get back to streaming, he says. Took 6 months off because he got burnt out doing the retro, and yeah, I went back to Xbox, but now my TV broke. I'm back to retro again. I'm sorry your TV broke, man. That sucks. But I hope you're having fun with the retro games at least. And I do enjoy watching you stream, so I'm glad to see you having fun with Need for Speed. Didn't even upload your last stream. Yeah. You gotta get back to doing what was that? Did you ever finish Blade Kitten? Anyway, so Foxy's been doing Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. I think he's got just what, like Deathless? Death's Collection ones. Yeah, Death's Collection ones. So Ty's a pretty interesting game. It's like a 3D platformer. With actually pretty decent combat. A lot of those games aren't so good. And then he played a bunch of games on Saturday. And he badged Sesame Street. Need for Speed's been decent, but I don't feel like it was a good game to stream. Although I have had people watch just for Need for Speed, so what do I know? Yeah, it's always kind of Drake says he needs to finish Blaken for sure. Yes, you do. Yeah, it's always kind of surprising sometimes of like what actually brings in viewers and what doesn't. And like sometimes, like you talk to some people and I'm like, oh, RPGs are awful for streaming because they're, lots of text and reading and not a lot of action on screen. But like there are people who follow me just for Etrian Odyssey stuff and they don't show up if I play anything else. There are people who follow me for Monster Hunter stuff, and Monster Hunter has a lot of grindy parts, and those people don't show up unless I play Monster Hunter. So it's like, yeah. And like I'm not like, oh, I wish you'd show up for this or wish you'd show up for that. Like it doesn't really matter to me. I'm streaming for my own sake, really, just for having kind of like a history of here's when I got this achievement, or here's when I got that achievement, kind of thing. It's really more for that, if anything, or just having something I can send if I need to do a manual unlock. Yeah. And also just for because my nieces sometimes watch and they enjoy, and so it's really more for that. But anyway, it is sometimes surprising what people watch or what they're there for. Yeah, for sharing the experience. Yeah, it's like we're living in, it's like we're living in each other's living rooms and we're just like walking through and like, oh, you're playing this game over there and he's playing that game over there and you're playing that game over there. And it's like we can talk to each other and chat and whatnot as we're playing different things. Etrian Odyssey was fun to fall asleep to. Yeah, yeah. It does get a lot of the music is very uh what's the word I'm looking for? Can't think of the word, but yeah, it will put you to sleep sometimes. It's very chill music. Up next we got Zash. So let me throw Zash a shout out. Zash has been playing some Kasumi Ninja on Jackwire, and some Life Force on NES, some Dead Moon on PC Engine, Gradius on NES. As usual, lots of shoot 'em ups. I think Kasumi Ninja is a beat 'em up. Oh no, 2D fighting from Handmade Software. Okay. Oh, I played some Monster Lair. All right, man. Thanks for stopping by, Wolfie. Have a good night's sleep. Next up, we've got BCG. Throw a BCG shout out. And he's been playing a Final Fantasy V hack. And booted up some Mega Man, the Zero Playable hack for Mega Man X. I saw Foxy played this one and badged this one. It's pretty neat little hack. And played some Turmoil. Played a Super Mario Land hack. And played some in the Namco Museum. That really bad cyberpunk style game was really fun to watch. Oh man, that was that was a rant fest for both of us, I think. It was just like, oh gosh, these characters are so stupid. You kind of want your own character to die because she's just so self-obsessed and ugh. And all the characters are just mustache twirling versions of, I don't know, normal people. Yeah. Anyway, next we got Cassie. And Cassie was on earlier today. I thought, looks like she rated out to somebody else. And Bookum sent it too. But yeah, Cassie was playing some Battletoads. She's been playing some Final Fantasy 4, some Final Fantasy 2. That's right, that's right. We've seen this for the last couple of weeks. She's playing all the Final Fantasy 4s at the same time. Slowly. She hasn't badged any of them yet. So, that would be a maybe a good lesson of yeah, it doesn't you don't finish them very quickly if you're playing them all at the same time. Unless I had like horrible clipping or something. I remember it was pretty janky. That one guy came on who loved it. Oh. Yeah, I think somebody did pop in chat and was like telling it's you know, calling it a great game or something. I don't know. So Lifted is an interesting guy. We see him playing a lot of multiplayer games with he's playing Gauntlet Legends with Frog over a they had to do some weird stuff to get it to work on NetPlay. Or it wasn't NetPlay, it was like they had to use some kind of I think it was like a separate emulator or something. But they were playing some Gauntlet Legends together, which was cool to see because that's a cool game, and it's really meant to be played co-op. And he's been working on the Daimakai Munra set for PC Engine and Lord of the Rings: The Third Age on PS2. So some cool games right there. Next up, we've got RVK and Rev. Should be getting to the end of the list here. So throw RVK a shout out. Yeah, I gotta start playing some Stellar Blade one of these days. RVK has been playing X-Men on GBA. Legend of Zelda Minish Cap on GBA. Ketsui. We saw some of that earlier on arcade. Good game. Super Back to the Future Part 2 on SNES. So he's been jumping back and forth between some interesting games there. But RVK is one of our great shoot 'em up guys in Scanlines. And I got Rev. Throw him another shout out here. As usual, grinding out Final Fantasy 11. Played some Joust on 7800. Interesting. I think didn't Wise Man say you have one of the Joust badges? Man, it is so hard to pick out badges from that list. But what if I can do just a search here? Mastered. Yeah, okay. So we badged the NES one and the 2600 one. And he mastered Balloon Fight. Those are some fun games. Kind of very RNG heavy, but I'd like to go back and badge arcade, NES, and 2600 versions of Joust sometime. Good games. Good game. Drake says he has one greatest achievement. He likes Joust too. Oh, cool. Next up, we got Neo. Throw Neo a shout out. Ba-ba-bum. Cosmic also likes Joust. Oh, and Drake has the 7800 version of Joust. Nice. So I think Neo has been playing Turok. That's interesting. Turok and Turok 2, and Final Fantasy, and Balloon Fight. I think he was also working on Drill Dozer. And he booted up some Kingsfield, so that's cool. Yeah, Drill Dozer. Drill Dozer's Neo is one of the ones that was working on Drill Dozer. Played Joust in the arcade back in the day. Yeah. Yeah, I say way back when some of our favorite arcade games as kids were like Joust, Rampart, Rampage, Marvel vs. Capcom. Some good stuff. 7800 version is pretty good. That set is insanely hard though. Oh. Hmm. And then next up we got Nachos. So this is my niece, and we played some Monster Hunter together when she was here last weekend. Was it last weekend? No. Wait, she was here for a little bit on Friday, but then it would have been Sunday. Okay. Yeah, it would have been Sunday that we played some, we got her through Guildhall 2. And I think Rev, you came and helped us out, I think. Because we were stuck on the Pink Raytheon again. That 2-star Pink Raytheon is pretty rough for being 2-star. Drake remembers Rampart and Rampage. Yep. Pink Raytheon. Yes. And then Drake. We'll look at Drake. Oops. I clicked the button. There we go. Drake got a Gradius achievement. Collect the first secret 5,000 points. You know, I bet, because I think on Gradius I've got like the first level at least. I think I got the first level Deathless even. No? Oh, I have it on the one I have is the PC Engine version. I think I've got some achievements on that one. But I bet you could get at least the first stage done, sir. And yes, we should play some more Monster Hunter Freedom. For sure. Get all the 3-star stuff done for you. And Tricky. Throw Tricky a shout out here. Dun, dun, dun. You could do it probably. Haven't tried. Only got that one by accident. Oh, Pulse just got the Contra 3 badged. Awesome. Awesome. I'm gonna throw him some gift subs to celebrate. All right. All right. So Tricky's been playing some Final Fantasy VII, some Earthbound, some Lemmings. So Tricky's the guy that's always trying to get Wise to play Lemmings. Final Fantasy VI. Yeah, and he badged Final Fantasy 2 and 3. So very cool. Very cool. Alrighty. Well, that covers that, and we already played some Laplace and the other. I was gonna play some Monster Hunter, but my partners in crime, well, Sane anyway, has disappeared. Drake, do you want to play some Monster Hunter tonight, or should I just raid out? I love Lemmings, but not any version that's in RA. You're kind of tired. Yeah, my voice is kind of tired. I think I'm gonna play some more Dragon Quest, and not on stream. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, guys. This has been fun. This is there's some cool new games out. Definitely, if you like RPGs, give Laplace a try. It's pretty interesting. And Ketsui is awesome. if you like any of the cave shooters, Bullet Hells, I highly recommend it. Give it a shot. Yeah, just keep kicking butt and earning those Chivos, guys. Let's raid out to Wise again. I know I raid him all the time, but Pulse is probably going to be calling it a night here pretty soon after finishing that. Or he'll probably just be doing wheel spins or something. But we'll go give Wise some love. I think he's working on Ninja Gaiden on the Game Boy. So yeah, have a great night, everybody. We'll see you out with some kind of redeem here. Here we go. Here we go. This one's fun. Alright, catch you guys later. Have a great night. Sleep well.
Everybody's got to try 3D World Runner.
Alright, and for those watching on YouTube, thanks for stopping by. Have yourselves a great night.
Okay, now we don't have enough health.